How is it going, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to be answering and discussing a question that I am getting on a daily basis countless times, and that is, should you buy Star Wars Battlefront 2, or more specifically, should you buy Star Wars Battlefront 2 in 2020? So we're going to get into all of that throughout this video. Now, I did do a video a couple weeks ago where I discussed the journey of Star Wars Battlefront 2 and how it redeemed itself. And if you haven't picked up the game yet and want to see how it completely turned itself around, then be sure to check that video out once we're done here. Now, before we dive into this, guys, I just want to make this evidently clear. I am not an EA game changer. I don't get benefits from EA. This video is not sponsored by EA. This is just the opinion of someone who has been with this game since it launched. And, you know, gone through all of the BS and the crap that EA put the players through. So I have no bias or agenda here. This is just a raw, honest opinion. Obviously, you can make your mind up for yourself, but in the video, I'm just going to lay it all out there. As like I said, a lot of people ask me if they should buy this game. So I just want to help you guys out here today. So now, getting into the video. So Star Wars Battlefront 2 has obviously turned itself around in a massive way. There is no denying that. But there are still people out there that will bash the game into oblivion and say, you know, it's still garbage and all that kind of stuff. And to those people, I honestly don't even know what to say. Battlefront 2 admittedly is still not a perfect game, and there are things to be wary of if you are going to pick it up. And probably the biggest thing is that the game is still very buggy. Bugs have been a constant burden to Battlefront 2 since the launch back in 2017, and there have been months where the game was just completely unplayable. With the most recent of those months being August of 2019, the game was just a total mess and patches had to be reverted so the game could be properly playable again. Battlefront 2 does use the Frostbite engine, which is notorious for being difficult to work with and things do go wrong. So if bugs do frustrate you, then Battlefront 2 definitely will not ease those frustrations. It is, after all, undoubtedly one of the game's biggest problems, if not the actual biggest problem. And it really can intrude on your enjoyment of the game a little bit, especially if you are a new player. And I must say that there are a lot of people out there, including myself, that have played the game since launch and have become a little bit accustomed to the bugs, but to a new player it might stand out a little bit more. And the other thing worth noting is that lobbies, depending on where you live and what servers you are playing on, it can be a little bit hard to find games. If you are on Xbox or PS4, you shouldn't have any trouble finding games on game modes like Capital Supremacy and Galactic Assault, which are the two big game modes in Battlefront 2. Also, Heroes vs Villains and Co-op are the other two popular modes, and there's normally no worry finding games there either. But if you are getting Battlefront 2 for the Starfighters, you probably should not waste your time. Most of the Starfighter modes are just completely dead, and you'll probably end up doing more searching than playing. DICE, who work on this game, do not do the Starfighters. That was the job of Criterion Games, who haven't worked on the game since launch. So it's probably not going to get any revival anytime soon. Now, the smaller game modes like Strike and Blast, which is just a basic TDM, they are also fairly dead too, and I haven't found a game on either of those two game modes for a very long time. So I mean, make of that what you will. In my honest opinion, the only modes worth playing are the ones that actually don't really have any trouble finding full lobbies anyway. So as for the negatives, that's honestly about as far as I would go. Most other things tend to be more on the more optimistic or positive side, which I'm going to get into. So one thing that I absolutely need to touch on in this video is I see a lot of new players in the lobbies at the moment, and I also see tons of people asking if they'd be too far left behind and they're just going to get crushed by players with all their stuff upgraded. And I have to say, no, I recently changed platform and I had to start from scratch and it was totally fine. So I think the game is completely fine for new players and pretty new player friendly. Now, granted, there are some pretty sweaty boys that have put stupid amounts of time into the game, and you might come across some of those guys, but for the most part, the lobbies are pretty new player friendly right now. So also for those people who, you know, for some weird reason still don't know, no, the game is not pay to win. I am still getting asked this almost like in an hourly basis in my comment sections of my videos. I constantly just, you know, surf through the comments of my videos, and the amount of times I see this, it's kind of actually a little bit worrying considering how long the game has not been pay to win. The only time this game was actually ever pay to win, for those who, you know, don't know, was actually before the game even launched, and that was in the early access period. So no, you don't have to worry about any of that pay to win crap. Now another question that I do get asked a lot, and that is in regards to the DLC. Is it free? Is it paid? Is it a season pass? What is the deal? So all of the DLC in Star Wars Battlefront 2 is free. There is no season pass. The free DLC for this game was included in the original $60 price tag. So you don't have to worry about missing out on content if you don't want to open up your wallet or you can't afford to. The only time you can ever really spend money on this game is if you want to buy crystals to buy skins, but I mean that is completely up to you. It's all cosmetic, nothing ties to the gameplay. This game is honestly a total bargain for what you get right now. You can pick the game up for as cheap as $10, which is just ridiculous for the amount of content that you get. Since this game has come out, we've had 4 new heroes added and another 2 are on the way in a few weeks. And maps like Geonosis, Felucia and Ajan Kloss have been added to the game, as well as a ton of new reinforcements and seemingly endless hero, infantry and reinforcement skins. There is a lot of content to be played in this game, and I honestly think that for the price you will pay for the game, it has to be one of the bigger bargain deals going around. If you are a Star Wars fan, you definitely need to give this game a chance, and even if you aren't a Star Wars fan, then I still think it's worth giving it a go. Battlefront 2 is basically Battlefield, but in the Star Wars universe with iconic Star Wars characters. I mean, what's not to love? Now, there is a celebration edition for this game, as it seems as if EA have gone out of their way lately to try and rebrand this game to hopefully bring in a new bunch of players. They have really tried to take advantage of the whole hype and praise of Jedi Fallen Order and the Rise of Skywalker. And I have to say, it has worked well. The Celebration Edition will get you the entire game, including all free DLC past and present, as well as all of the game's cosmetics. You can get it for $40 or upgrade for $25 if you already have the game, or you can get it for free with Origin Premier. Now, is the Celebration Edition worth it for brand new players? If cosmetics are your thing, then I absolutely recommend you buy this Celebration Edition, but if you don't care or you just want to test the game out because you're a little hesitant, then I think going to pick up a $10 copy from wherever you find the game cheap is probably the best bet for you. Now, I know that playing as some of the most iconic characters in Star Wars is the grab for a lot of people, and there is a current roster of 20 heroes in the game, and it's going to go up to 22 in mid to late January. There is a ton of heroes from every era of Star Wars, so whatever era is your fancy, the game certainly has you covered. And seeing as the DLC is free over time, provided the game continues its live service, which there is absolutely no reason why it wouldn't, especially given its recent resurgence, then we're only going to see more of these iconic characters and locations added to the game over time. Now, I'm going to address this as, like I said, this video is basically just me answering the questions that I've seen flooding into my comment sections over the past few weeks, since new players and people on the fence just started coming back to Battlefront 2 and they're still quite unsure. So no, the heroes are not locked anymore like they were at launch. They are all there, ready for you to use, so there is no cause for worry. I honestly believe that Battlefront 2 in its current state is 100% worth your time and your money. It offers a Star Wars experience unlike any other Star Wars game. The game itself is beautiful, and the graphics over time seemingly get better with character remodels and similar things receiving attention. And the inclusion of all of this free DLC over the past 2 years, as well as the DLC that lies ahead, you'd honestly be crazy to not pick up this game if you are a Star Wars fan. Even if you aren't a Star Wars fan, this game I think could still be worth your while, and there is certainly enjoyment to be had with it. So take it from me, someone who has been with this game throughout all of the ups and downs, from the launch controversy to the resurgence happening right now. This game is something you should consider buying. I used to give this game so much hate, but right now I'm singing its praises, and like I said, I have no ties to EA. I don't get any benefit from saying all of this. I just don't want people who aren't playing this game to miss out on an amazing Star Wars gaming experience. And I want to make it clear that the game is worth your time. Don't be scared by the game's launch and the controversy of the past. All of that stuff is in the past. And there is no reason for the launch of this game to still be haunting its current state. This game is nothing like it was back then, it's almost an entirely new game, so definitely at the bare minimum, just try the game out. If you don't like it, get a refund, but in my opinion, I don't think a lot of people will be asking for that refund. So guys, what do you all think of this? Are you new to Star Wars Battlefront 2 and have just picked the game up, or are you a veteran player? Regardless, let me know what you think of Battlefront 2 in its current state in the comments below. Like I said guys, this game has turned a corner and I hope this video cleared up some of the questions that a lot of people seem to still have. I mean, I simply could not keep ignoring all of these burning questions from new players and potential new players about the game, so I hope this video done its job and has given you guys the answers you're after and perhaps the final push you needed to get your hands on Battlefront 2. So guys, if you did go on to enjoy this video, then be sure to drop a like as it does help the channel out a great deal, and subscribe if you are new around here with that notification bell on, as YouTube's notifications are just cooked. But yeah, that is just about going to do it for me today, so thank you all for watching and I'll speak to you all again next time.